Yeah. Welcome to the show, Pubs. It's a Wednesday. How are you? 833-599-NICK. 833-599-6425. 833-599-6425 if you'd like to join in the hilarity. This Saturday night, I'll be at the Fat Black Pussycat in New York City. Thursday, October 4th, the Texas Theater in Dallas. Saturday, October 27th, Lucy's in Pleasantville, New York. November 2nd and 3rd, Governor's Levittown, Long Island, New York. Friday, November 9th and Saturday, November 10th, Comics at Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut. Friday, November 30th and Saturday, December 1st, the Corner Comedy Club, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. That's on the Canada side. Monday, December 31st, which is New Year's Eve, which is the one I'm drooling over. Terrytown Music Hall, 20 minutes from where I live. New Year's Eve, baby. That's Kevin Meaney used to do a show there on Christmas Eve every year. And what a awesome venue. It's been around since the 1800s, refurbished. Sort of like Fenway. They put luxury boxes and bleachers and whatnot. How are you? You good? Had my echocardiogram about an hour and a half ago, and it was funny. The lady plugged in the thing, put goo on my chest. I'm laying on my side, and I said to her, "This, this is not the first time I've had goo on my chest when I'm laying on my side." And she said, "That's a hashtag me." I said, "Shut it! I'll knock you through the goddamn wall." And she couldn't find. It was funny. She couldn't find my heart for a second, and I was like, "Well, a lot of people tell you." It's a very accurate depiction. Down in my rib cage. No, that's your liver. Those are your balls. Anyways, yeah, she was about as warm as a army physical. Didn't say two words. Of course, there's a nurse, there's a girl like in her 20s with long blonde hair, but I had to get the wildebeest from Russia with an accent. The same way that I order and I get a massage. It's always a broad who's got traps like Erlacher. And hey, what are you gonna do? But she didn't say boo, and I'm trying to read her face because the monitor is over there. I can't see what she's seeing, and I was just waiting for her to go. What's the matter? There's a stick of butter stuck in your aorta. I was waiting for some type of feedback. She's so quiet, I was getting nervous. I thought I was loaded with cancer or some shit. Wouldn't that be lucky? And then she, at the end, I said, anything unusual? Nope. Okay, thanks for being so warm. Bye-bye. I said, how am I going to get the results? So they mail them, they phone, whatever they usually do. They send their homing pigeon, whatever. Don't bust my ball with the detail. I just do what I do. Okay. Anyways, that was because of a couple slightly abnormal EKGs, but I'm guessing the woman who did my EKG put those electrodes. If they're not precise, you can get a funny reading. It's either that or the 12 cigarettes I have before breakfast might be changing the rhythm of my heart. Either fucking way, I don't care. 833-599-6425 is the phone number. So, yeah, I think my heart's okay. Come on, I did an insanity workout yesterday. I was fine. I keep thinking of my buddy Colin Quinn, though. He was leaving the gym when he started to get lightheaded and almost collapsed. So that's how they're probably going to find me, on a shitty treadmill in the basement, bleeding from my eye holes and my ass. Maybe. Let's get to it. A lot of news today, huh? Those Democrats, you are the filthiest low-life suckers I have ever encountered. Again, I won't let politics get in the way of my friendships, but how you can fucking vote for that criminal enterprise they call the Democratic Party is just fucking beyond me. Low lives to the bitter end. How's the collusion thing going? Anything? It's been a couple years. Nothing, huh? Nothing? Oh, you got Manafort, did you? And the guy he worked with? Ooh, you're catching some big fish. You don't know they stole my... Between that and what they're doing to this guy Kavanaugh, I'm sorry. I ain't buying it. I guess the ends justify the means. That's how they play. And the pussy Republicans better step the fuck up. Because if this guy doesn't get the nomination Oh, my God. Blue wave. 70-foot blue wave. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the particulars. Arizona prosecutor is a GOP choice to question Kavanaugh and Ford. Yeah. I'll get to Avenatti and the third accuser in a second. That's the top story today. But we have to go sort of chronological to follow this big fucking con game, this scam. Last time I talked to the Dems are whining. We don't know who's going to question her. Who's going to question these broads? And, and I said, doesn't matter who they pick. That doesn't fucking matter. It could be Ginsburg. That fucking corpse in a gown. They still, they'd whine. Republican senators have selected Arizona prosecutor Rachel Mitchell to question Judge Brett Kavanaugh and the woman who has accused the nominee of sexually assaulting her when they were teenagers. And should be interesting. Bang, 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 bang. Mitchell, the sex crime bureau chief for Maricopa County Attorney's Office in Phoenix. I was just there. I think I saw her. There she is. I hope she's better in the courtroom. Guys, why are you cutting off her head? Go back to the fucking original shot. More. Get her feet. There you go. I hope she's better in the courtroom than she is at picking clothes. I mean, Kim Jong-un called. He wants his suit back. That is a Kim Jong-un. That's from the Kim Jong-un line. Look at what the fuck? Anyways, I'm not judging her on her looks. That would be sexist. But she's well qualified. She'll query the two at Thursday's highly anticipated Judiciary Committee hearing. A registered Republican, Mitchell has worked for the Maricopa County's Attorney's Office for 26 years, and I think she'll get to...
Are you saying he knows nothing about these matters?
To my knowledge, nothing. I'm going to find out what the hell happened here.
That's her voice, by the way. I can tell by the way she dresses. That's how she sounds. Nick, what are you saying? I don't give a fuck. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Charles Grassley said the goal is to depoliticize the process and get to the truth instead of grandstanding and giving senators, like Cory Booker, Mr. Spartacus, an opportunity to launch their presidential campaigns, which is true. But how can you... Yeah, anyways, Christine Blasi Ford, who accused Kavanaugh of sexually assaulting her when they were both in high school, will testify under oath on Thursday if she has the fucking balls to show up.
I am here. I have things to say.
Well, let's hear them. And take off the welding glasses, you fucking wench. I don't believe this broad for a second. Maybe the other ones. I don't know. The division Mitchell heads deals with family violence. She's qualified. Physical and sexual abuse of children and sex offenses, including sex assault cases. Mitchell oversees about 40 to 50 people in the division, has a long history of investigating years-old sex crimes and allegations that are difficult to corroborate, which is exactly what we have here. Over the course of Rachel's career, she's dealt with victims in this very circumstance of delayed disclosure and circumstances where allegations were difficult to corroborate. Mitch McConnell from Kentucky said, Republican lawmakers hired a female assistant to ask these questions in respect and in a professional way. Has anybody seen my fucking chin, and why am I drooling? Anyways, she's now a supervisor, this woman, where her duties include analyzing legislative changes and managing other attorneys. Tracy Westenhausen, a Phoenix defense attorney who has gone up against Mitchell in 30 cases, she's a Democrat, by the way, lifelong, says she has never discussed politics with Mitchell, but considers her a good choice for the high-stakes job. So that's it. That's one Democrat who actually agrees. But the minute I heard, she's a Republican, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Democrats are like fucking children. No matter what you say, they'll fucking question it and say, I want this instead of that. They're like, this whole thing smells of desperation. That and pussy. Oh my God, is there any need of that talk? Yes, there is, actually. Yes, there is. You guys fucking watch Hannity and all that horseshit and listen to Rush, but you want somebody to fucking cut loose and say what you're saying at your kitchen table. Do you not? Well, here I am, motherfuckers. Come find me. Right, Twinks? How are you? Grassley said he appointed a woman from the outside in order to depoliticize the process and prevent a rerun of Anita Hill's testimony at Judge Clarence Thomas' hearing back in 91. Remember the high-tech lynching where they said they found a pubic hair on a Coke can and he harassed her? Same fucking horseshit. Democrats haven't changed the playbook. Low-life fucking cock. That's enough, Nick. Before Mitchell's name was revealed, Democrats criticized their Republican colleagues for leaving them in the dark and accused them of shirking their senatorial duties. Well, now you know who she is. And I was just watching Trump in front of a whole press and he takes every question. Jim Acosta and every question was, why do you always side with the males? And you sided with Judge Moore and you sided with Bill O'Reilly. Why do you always side with they're like fucking fifth graders. He sides with whatever the evidence says. And by the way, Judge Moore, we don't know. Just because he lost the election, we don't know that those allegations were true because nobody was back there in 1946 to witness them. Oh, my God. Like fucking children. You always seem to side with the guys. Okay, so the president's going to go, you know, you're right. I'm going to side with the chicks. Instead of waiting till all the shit evidence is produced and we have these actual fucking hearings. They're like children. Jim Acosta actually goes, would it be all right if after my question, some of my female colleagues, he's calling the shots. And Trump, God bless him, said, why? What's that got to do with it? He kept questioning Acosta. What a little pussy that fucking guy is. I think Shep Smith could dick slap him in a fight. Oh, Nick, don't go there. Blow it out your ass, please. Anyways, here's the reaction naturally, like it wasn't too predictable. To them naming this woman. But some commentators and political left immediately criticized the pick of Mitchell, trying to tie Mitchell, who was an unelected civil servant, to the controversial, convicted, and now pardoned Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He's the sheriff, remember, who made all the illegals and all his prisoners wear pink garb and shit. And, he was a real fucking hard ass and was right on the money, by the way. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office does not report to the Sheriff's Office. They have nothing to do with each other. So they're wrong on that count, too. Get your facts in a row. Get your fucking ducks in a row. In most counties nationwide, Maricopa County Attorney is independently elected official who runs his office independently. Sheriff Arpaio at no time exercised authority over any aspect of County Attorney's Office where she worked. So stick that up, you fucking ass, number one. Only this crowd of clueless... Here's a tweet from Jennifer Rubin. Jewish lady who I've seen on TV, just hateful, just has to be New York fucking... Just a man-hating machine. She says in a tweet, only this crowd of clueless old white guys would pick someone from Sheriff Joe's operation. I was saying no self-respecting lawyer would take the job of giving cover to GOP cowards. I was right.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Karis, you fake.
Let's hear that one again.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Karis, you fake.
Can you imagine? She's complaining. So, only 12 old white guys or whatever the fuck. But if they insisted on doing the questioning, or if they picked a male, you'd be going, why are you picking a male to question these accusers? They're like fucking. Honestly, it's like arguing with a fifth grader. They couldn't be more obstinate. 11 Frady. Here's another tweet. Former Hillary Clinton advisor, so I know he's on the up and up. Philip Raines made the same error. Just killed something. I have no idea what it was. 11 Frady Cat Republican men, and it's in quote, need a ringer to do their dirty work. Rachel Mitchell, 26 years in Arizona's Maricopa County's attorney's office, will interrogate Ford. Ask Kavanaugh his favorite color. Maricopa County rings a bell.
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that?
Again, so you wouldn't be happy no matter who they fucking picked. And let me say this before I forget it about this whole thing. There's 2 points I want to make about this whole fucking sham. And I'll get to Avenatti, the porn lawyer and his third accuser. But number one, I'm watching that press conference and I'm watching TV and they're saying the Republicans have to keep an open mind, This coming from the Democrats who said before they fucking knew Kavanaugh was even the nominee. They said whoever Trump brings up as the nominee, we're voting 100% against. But you're lecturing the right to keep an open mind. Who the fuck and what the... Fellas, are you with me? That's what they said. No matter who he nominates, we're going to say no to 100%. But it's important that they keep an open mind when the accusers come. With stories from over 30 years ago, with gaps in them the size of fucking David Letterman's front teeth. He fixed them. All right. Old reference. Mine. I fixed mine, too. A ringer? She's the most qualified person there is to do this, according to the woman Democrat. Some of the attacks on Mitchell's suitability focused on controversies over inadequate sheriff's office sex crime investigations under Paolo last decade. Not only did Mitchell not work at the sheriff's office back then, she, as the Washington Post Tuesday report notes, according to her predecessor, Cindy Nanetti, one of the prosecutors tasked with finding out why hundreds of sex crimes were unresolved or not adequately investigated by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. It was her job to find out why a lot of these sex charges, didn't happen under, before she got there. And they're saying she's a ringer. Oh my God, you fucking retarded. Hey, you all fucking retarded. Maricopa cocksuckers. Democrats, gobblers of goo, each and every one of you. You're as low as fucking rat shit. I can't. Nanetti also told the Post that Mitchell was one of the finest prosecutors in the country. Unbelievable. And again, this is Tracy Westerhausen, again, a self-identified Democrat who represented more than 30 defendants. Mitchell prosecuted, told the Post, part of the reason we're very good friends is she's a very nuanced and wise prosecutor. She doesn't pigeonhole defendants. In my experience, she's a very pointed questioner of adverse witnesses, but she's also very fair. Sounds like a dead ringer, doesn't it? Again, name somebody that they would have been fine with. Fucking name somebody. Name somebody. Huh?
Hillary Clinton.
She's not a judge, you dumb fuck. But anyways. Even then, they would have said, well, what does she know? Her husband's a rapist. Yeah, well, you defended him through the fucking 90s, you fucking non-armpit shaving, smelly, fucking mustachioed, angry bitches. What's he going nuts for?
He was really happy with the cut he made between cameras.
That's how green these guys are. Ryan's in there actually giving himself a standing ovation because he made some nice cuts. Good for you. You'll get a hold of it. Eventually, this show will get picked up and put on CRTV.
And then we'll be out of a job.
No, you won't. Fuck no. You're with me forever. You understand? You witness shit in this house that you can't get out of here alive. Number one, me molesting my dog. What? Oh, she just wants an apple. Yeah, but why are your pants down? Let's get to the big story. You guys hang on the line. It says Kavanaugh, but I'm sure you want to talk about this part of the story. Michael Avenatti. Who's that? Well, that's, as Tucker Carlson would say, the creepy porn lawyer. He reveals client making gang rape allegations against Kavanaugh. I almost said Kevin Kavanaugh because I went to college with. But
You're raping me! This is rape! This is rape! This is rape!
today, Avenatti tweeted a name and photo of that client that he said, the third one, with screenshots of email correspondence and a sworn statement from the alleged victim laying out all her allegations. And this is a tweet from Michael Avenatti. It says, below is my correspondence to Mr. Davis of moments ago, together with a sworn declaration from my client. We demand an immediate FBI investigation into the allegations. Under no circumstances should Brett Kavanaugh be confirmed absent a full and complete investigation. Yeah, you're right. With the FBI is going to, once again, I don't even know if they have jurisdiction over because the shit she's crying about happened in D.C. Probably do. Secondly, You have to have, corroborating witnesses and all kinds of evidence and shit. And they've already turned their nose up at the first one. I don't think they're going to do this one either. Again, right in his tweet, he reveals what the whole goal is delay this thing to fuck up the midterms. It's all right in front of you. It's all right there. But this is interesting, I'm saying. You don't think they could find in a country of 300 million, which is I don't know how many people vote Democrat and hate Trump, you don't think they could find a couple of broads, feminists, who hate fucking Trump to the core that they would actually get involved in this? Well, 3 people wouldn't be lying about the same thing. Well, how many people lied about the collusion? Well, there were hundreds of thousands involved in that one. So who are you dog styling? Paragraph 13 of the sworn statement. Let's put a picture up of the third. Her name is Sweatnick, which many people always say to me before the show. Don't Sweatnick. And I go, hey, blow me. Do we have a picture of the third accuser, guys? Hate to throw a curveball. There you go. Yeah, at least she's cute. And I didn't mean that in a sexist way. But this is the third accuser, Miss Sweatnick. Do I have her first name?
Julia.
Julia. Is it Julia Sweatnick? Okay. Paragraph 13 of the sworn statement has a specified personal allegation. This is from her. In approximately 1982, I became the victim of one of these gang or train rapes where Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh. Shortly after the incident, I shared what had transpired with at least 2 other people. During the incident, I was incapacitated without my consent and unable to fight off the boys raping me. I believe I was drugged using Quaaludes or something similar placed in what I was drinking. Either that or you're lightweight, and let me get into more detail. Here's the declaration of Julie Sweatnick. There might be some repetition here. This font is smaller than my dick. I first met Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh in approximately 1980-81. I was introduced to them at a house party I attended in D.C. area. I observed Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh extremely close friends during the early 80s when I knew them and interacted with them. I described them as joined at the hip, and I consistently saw them in many social settings. There is no question in my mind Mark Judge had significant information concerning the conduct of Brett Kavanaugh during the 80s. It relates to his actions towards women. And this is part 7. Following the first introduction, I attended well over 10 house parties in the Washington, D.C. area during the years between 81 and 83 where Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh were present. These parties were a common occurrence in the area and occurred nearly every weekend during the school year. On numerous occasions at these parties, I witnessed Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh drinking excessively and engage in highly inappropriate conduct, including being overly aggressive with girls and not taking no for an answer. So, you saw them raping people right in front of you. This conduct included the fondling and grabbing of the girls without their consent. I observed Brett Kavanaugh drink excessively at many of these parties and engage in abusive and physical aggressive behavior toward girls, including pressing girls against him without their consent, which I've done on every dance floor in the 80s my whole life, grinding against girls, and attempting to remove or shift girls' clothing to expose private body parts. What the fuck were they wearing? Bikinis? I likewise observed him be verbally abusive towards girls by making crude sexual comments to them that were designed to demean, humiliate, and embarrass them. That happened at every frat party I was ever at. I often witnessed Brett Kavanaugh speak in a demeaning manner about girls in general as well as specific girls by name. I also witnessed Brett Kavanaugh behave as a mean drunk on many occasions at these parties. I have been told by other women that this conduct also occurred during the summer months in Ocean City, Maryland on numerous occasions. I also witnessed such conduct on one occasion in Ocean City, Maryland during Beach Week. I have reviewed Brett Kavanaugh's recent claims on Fox News regarding his innocence during his high school years and lack of sexual activity. This claim is absolutely false and a lie. I witnessed Brett Kavanaugh consistently engage in excessive drinking and inappropriate contact of sexual nature with women during the early 1980s, which makes him a rapist, I got. That's the behavior of every guy I knew in the fucking 80s. I'm sorry. Here we go. Now we're getting into the meat of the... During the years of 1981-82, I became aware of efforts by Mark Judge, Brett Kavanaugh, and others to spike the punch in others. You sure you're not confusing them? to spike the punch at house parties I attended with drugs and/or grain alcohol so as to cause girls to lose their inhibitions and their ability to say no. What? This caused me to make an effort to purposely avoid the punch at these parties. But you kept going to the parties. I witnessed efforts by Judge and Kavanaugh and others to target particular girls so they could be taken advantage of. It was usually a girl by herself, alone at the party, or shy. I also witnessed efforts by Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh and others to cause girls to become inebriated and disoriented so they could then be gang raped in a side room or bedroom by a train of numerous boys. I have a firm recollection of seeing boys lined up outside rooms at many of these parties waiting for their turn. You sure it wasn't the fucking men's room and there was a girl in there using it? Not to be insensitive. These boys included Mark Judge and Brett Kavanaugh. In approximately 1982, I became the victim of one of these gang or train rapes where Judge and Kavanaugh were present. Shortly after the incident, I shared what had transpired with at least 2 other people. During the incident, I was incapacitated without my consent and unable to fight off the boys raping me. I believe I was drugged using Quaaludes or something similar placed in what I was drinking. I am aware of other witnesses that can attest to the truthfulness of each of these statements. I declare under penalty of perjury and under the laws of the United States of America that the foregoing is true and correct. I have executed this declaration on September 25th, 2018. So, why would you keep going back to parties? She said she witnessed this behavior on numerous occasions. Why would you keep going back to parties where you witnessed, trains and gang rapes? And that's my first question. The timing, folks. The timing on everything stinks. Between Feinstein having this goddamn letter back in July, between none of these, she didn't report this to the local authority when this happened to her, this gang rape or whatever. Didn't mention it to her parent or anybody. And I know that's common because it's such a personal thing, but you don't report it to the authorities. And and you've been to numerous parties where you saw shit like this happening. That's where it smells a little funny to me. Call me dopey, but Pete in L.A. Hey, Pete, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Nick. Great show, as always.
Thank you.
I want to expand on your point about her continually going to parties.
Yeah.
Can she give us one young female that she warned? Like, if I'm at a party, and I'm assuming I'm not going to the parties alone every time, if I know there's spiking and raping, if I was with some other girls, I'd like to think I would say, hey, watch it. That crew is raping people. Can she give us one person that she gave the heads up to, or is she some sociopath that sees people getting raped and just hangs around the party just to watch other people stand in line?
Yeah.
That would be a question I would have.
Even if she,
but
if she,
it all depends on if they. I don't think she's coming tomorrow. By the way,
if she even witnesses this, if she even witnessed it at all, by the way, but yeah, I mean, and you don't.
Oh, it's all fantasy. I agree.
I'm trying to be fair here. I really am. But what undermines it all is number one, the timing of it all, 30-something years later, number one. Number two, the Democrats coming out before they even know Kavanaugh is the nominee and saying, we're not going to fucking vote for whoever Trump puts up there. So that's, and yeah, it all stinks to high heaven. And the FBI, they're not going to get involved in something like this. I mean, they don't draw a conclusion. The FBI, by the way, when they do an investigation, they don't come to a conclusion. They just investigate, as I heard some FBI guys say on TV. But yeah, no, that's a great point. Did she warn anybody else? I guess not. Maybe she did. Maybe we'll hear about that.
No. Well, also, as far as they didn't draw a conclusion on the Anita Hill investigation.
Right.
They did not find any conclusive evidence. But that's one thing that gets me so mad about these damn pundits on TV. They keep saying, why don't we do an investigation like the FBI did with Anita Hill? And then we should say, well, would you believe the FBI's result? And of course they have to say yes, because they say no. What? But then Clarence Thomas was not convicted. Clarence Thomas, it was inconclusive, and he knew this woman. It's all a sham. You are 100% right. And look, the woman took her polygraph in Maryland. I thought she was afraid to fly. The woman went to school in Hawaii. I thought.
Wait, hold on, Pete. You're talking about Blasi Ford. I'm talking about the third accuser.
Oh no. No, I know. But when you said you're trying to give the benefit of the doubt,
right?
Every single one of them has such glaring
Right.
There comes a point where you're a fool if you keep giving the benefit of the doubt. The only question is this prosecutor going to go after her tomorrow? I don't think she's coming. I'm just letting you know. I don't think she's coming.
Yeah, I have that.
And I will tell you that there is one law I just want to say. If you submit a document that's fraudulent to the Senate Judiciary Committee, it's a felony. So she intentionally sent that letter to Dianne Feinstein.
Right.
She wrote it to Dianne Feinstein, but she mailed it to the other rep. Now, that would be like me wanting to talk to you and mailing it to Louis C.K.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But that was her way of protecting herself from a legal claim.
That's right.
Because she technically did not submit it. There's all these little nuances. I've never mailed a letter to somebody, to someone else, and just, like, assuming they'll forward it. It's just retarded.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing on the economy real quick. The Fed raised the interest rate for the 7th time since Trump won the election. 7th time. Now, in Obama's 8 years, from the day he won the election to Trump's taking power, they raised it once. So 7 times in 2 years, and they're raising it again in December. This is absolute certifiable proof that Trump's economy is booming.
I know. I just saw him speaking about Pete. We're not talking about the economy. Thank you for the call very much. I just saw Trump saying that, but it's also part because the economy, like you said, it's evidence that the economy is booming. So he wasn't mad about it. He's dealing with more expensive money right now, is what he said in the press conference. But I'm not getting into that. That is definitely not my forte business. 2.4, University of Maine, marketing. And that's with a lot of cheating. But the timing stinks, and I'm just laughing because they're pressing Trump and telling the Republicans on the committee, you got to keep an open mind. You got to keep an open mind. And the first thing they said, before they knew who his nominee was before they knew Kavanaugh was the nominee, is we're not voting for anybody Trump puts up. So your sister's ass. It's very curvaceous. Let's go to Kyle in Providence. Says he wants to discuss his large number of YouTube viewers. I'll give you a chance, Kyle, real quick. Go ahead.
Hey, what's good, stupid?
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, how come I got more viewers than you?
I don't know. I just started.
40 and white, and you failed at life.
I just started with the
YouTube
YouTube
a Bernie
thing.
Supporter?
What? Oh, we lost you. Unfortunately, Kyle cut out. I'm a Bernie supporter? Is that what he just said? I like Bernie. He's a old curmudgeon who believes what he believes. I don't fucking support Bernie Sanders, old fucking hippie. That would be you in Rhode Island. Rhode Island is like the pimple on the ass of Massachusetts, where I grew up. It's like a festering fucking boil. By the way, I lived in Rhode Island. It's actually pretty beautiful. But their politics, just like Boston. Just like San Francisco, all the geographically beautiful places, poisoned by fucking morons. Sandy Lane in Alabama. Sandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nick. I love comedy. I love your comedy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you said the point already about, where's the witnesses? Why did she go to the party? I mean, if you see that much stuff, why are you going to this party?
Because she was sexually intrigued by it, and it's a fantasy, according to Bernie Sanders, that all women like more than one guy on them. How about that for a theory? I'm just joking. Bernie said that though. Bernie did write an article.
He's liable to say anything. He's a socialist.
Yeah,
good God.
I know.
Don't say anything. But like with the whole thing with Louis C.K., these are grown-ass women, excuse my language.
Yeah.
Can you not walk out of a room? Because I can walk out of a room. There's nothing. If somebody did that, I'd be like, dude, whatever, let's go. I work with dudes. I'm a welder. They say
you are a
I've
dude.
said worse. I'm not a dude.
I know.
I've got 3 boys that proves that I'm not a dude.
I'm kidding.
I do. I mean, I work in that, and then yeah, I know you're kidding. But you see women where I work standing in front of fans, and then you wonder why nobody wants to work with you. That's why.
Yeah.
There's your reason.
No, you're right.
We all have to earn a paycheck.
The other point, thank you for the call, Sandy. Excellent point. The other point I wanted to make is they're dividing this wedge between men and women. This whole thing is, I feel bad for you young guys. Good luck getting laid the next fucking 50 years. I mean, back in my day, it was serial rapists and stuff. You know, the girls would shut down every few months. But the feminist movement, that was the ultimate goal anyway, because they consider this country a paternalistic, a male patriarchy, and you're, and we're controlling women, and they want to overturn that. And the best way to do that is to make women hate men and vice versa. And it's right in the fucking lesbian handbook. And that's not true. I know some lesbians who don't play this shit either, but I'm just saying, divide, if I can drive a wedge between a male and... It's all identity politics. That's all it is. This happens to be the gender part, not the race part, but that's all they have in their playbook. And they go back and forth, back and forth. Robert in New Jersey. Robert, welcome to the show. What's happening?
Hey, thanks a lot. First-time caller. One of the things that I brought up, that you brought up, and Sandy brought up, was a whole thing about why did she keep on going. So I went to Arizona State.
Oh, boy. Oh,
number
boy.
one party college at the time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw amazing things.
Yes.
Mostly from the hockey frats. Those guys were the worst. Like, everyone knew on campus, don't go there because date rape.
Hockey? Wait a minute. Hockey?
Hold
on. A hockey frat in Arizona? Oh, my God.
The hockey frat in Arizona.
Yeah, that was just a front.
Well, you got to do something. Right, exactly. You're in the desert. It's a hockey frat. Now, that's the rape train.
Right.
But there's that. And then now, I don't know if you heard, there's that whole thing about where they're saying 4chan basically just pranked. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
Which one?
That's true.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
What's that?
Which accuser did 4chan, prank them with? Was it
the one with the multiple, the girl with the low self-esteem that kept on going to rape parties?
The last one, Sweatnick? Sweatnick?
Yeah.
Not Ramirez. Yeah. Ramirez is the one she said she touched her his penis. Yeah.
Well, that's every drunk guy accidentally at even an office party. Your hands are everywhere. I'm not going to say too much more.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, is that it's a party.
Right.
But no, but that's the whole thing, is that they're saying that Avenatti, he came forward on Twitter or whatever.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, we've got a witness." Oh, come on, give me a break.
Well,
yeah. If there's someone with so low morals to keep on doing that, you got to wonder about this person. Is she right in the head?
Well, no. Okay. Good call, Robert. Thanks. I'm not. Look, I'm trying to be fair here. Who knows? You don't until we hear from this woman. But again, I preface it all with the timing and shit. If they wanted FBI investigations, they should release this. When Feinstein got the letter. They could have plenty of time for investigation. So it stinks to high heavens. But I don't know what Brett Kavanaugh, maybe maybe became a nice guy because he was the fucking demon in college. I don't know. But I'm sorry, just because the way they play with Clarence Thomas, I don't put anything past the Democrats. The fucking bar is on the floor. Good luck trying to get under it. So a guy in the New York Post, Paul Sperry, wrote a good article as far as, the first accuser, Christine Blasi, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. He wrote an article. It was 8 big problems for Christine Blasey Ford's story. And I'll rattle them off as quick as I can. He says, here are 8 reasons why it's hardly anti-woman for senators to question her account at Thursday's hearing. Number 1, he says, for starters, Ford still can't recall basic details of what she says was the most traumatic event in her life, not where the assault took place. She's not sure whose house it was or even what street it was on, nor when. She's not even sure of the year, let alone the day and month. Ford's not certain how old she was or what grade she was in when she says an older student violently molested her. But she doesn't plead inebriation. She described having just 1 beer at the party. So liar, whore, and you know it. Number 2, Ford concedes she told no one what happened to her at the time, not even her best friend or mother. That means she can rely on no contemporaneous witness to corroborate her story.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Number 3, worse, the 4 other people she identified as attending the party, including Kavanaugh, all deny knowledge of the gathering in question, including Leland Ingham Kaiser, who she calls a lifelong friend. She doesn't remember it.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Kaiser's lawyers told the Senate Judiciary Committee, simply put, Miss Kaiser does not know Mr. Kavanaugh, and she has no recollection of ever being, this is a close friend of Blasi Ford, being at a party or a gathering where he was present with or without Dr. Ford.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
The other 2 potential witnesses, Mark Judge and P.J. Smith, also deny any recollection of attending such a party. The committee took their sworn statements under penalty of perjury. These witnesses directly contradict Professor Ford's allegations against Judge Kavanaugh. Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley advised Ford's attorneys last week, so there's another fucking strike against her.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Ford claimed that Kavanaugh talked to Kaiser and Smith right after he assaulted her, yet neither shares her memory.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Number 4, her own immediate family doesn't appear to be backing her up either. Her mother, father, and 2 siblings are all conspicuously absent from a letter of support released by a dozen relatives, mostly on her husband's side of the family. Oh my, even her fucking siblings and parents won't.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Number 5, this summer Ford tried to reach out to old friends from high school and college to jog her memory. They couldn't help her. I've been trying to forget this all my life, and now I'm supposed to remember every little detail, Ford complained to one friend in July. Ugh.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Number 6, yet she still pushed forward with her bombshell charge, contacting the Washington Post tip line and Democratic lawmakers while hiring a Democratic activist lawyer. Ford is also a Democrat, as well as an anti-Trump marcher, raising questions about the motive and timing of the allegations, along with their veracity.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Number 7, Ford contends that notes her therapist took in 2012 corroborate her account, but they don't mention Kavanaugh. They also point up inconsistency in her story. For instance, her shrink noted that Ford told her there were 4 boys in the bedroom, not 2, as she now says. The notes also indicate Ford said she was in her late teens when she was assaulted, but Ford now says she may have been only 15 years old. So.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
And finally, number 8, in another inconsistency, Ford told the Washington Post she was upset when Trump won in 2016 because Kavanaugh was mentioned as a Supreme Court pick. Ouch. But Kavanaugh wasn't added to Trump's list of possibles until November 2017, a full year later. That doesn't figure either.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
On top of all that, Kavanaugh unequivocally denied Dr. Ford's allegations under penalty of perjury during a September 17th interview with committee lawyers, Grassley said, adding he was forthright, empathetic in his testimony and fully answered all questions. So, I don't know. I think the third accuser is more credible. But they all wouldn't be lying about the same thing, would they? This should be the Democrats' slogan. What was Hillary's stronger together or my feet don't stink anymore? What was her fucking... but this should be the Democrats' 2020 when they run for the White House.
You're raping me! This is rape! This is rape! This is rape! You're raping me!
Please welcome your 2020 nominee, Cory Booker. Detroit, let's go to Robin in Detroit. Robin, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nick. First-time caller. You make me a little bit nervous, but I'll give you my...
Oh, Robin, please. We're all friends here. We're all friends here, Robin. Take off your top, Robin.
You and I are about the same... You and I are about the same age, and what these women are describing as sexual assault was what happened every Friday night at every party. It was...
Okay. But
it was learning about the others. Go ahead.
But the other side would say we were supposed to evolve. At one point, slavery was accepted in this country, and we evolved, and men should evolve too, behavior-wise, right? Is that? I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Right, but No, but he's being forced to answer for something that happened 30 years ago.
Well, that's a
And if it was a crime, it should have been brought up as a crime.
Well, that's a different argument than what you just said. But yes, I agree why you wouldn't go to the local authorities. And but what the third accuser is saying is that, you know, she witnessed. Again, she said, I saw Brett and Judge together all the time. She didn't say, I watched them put Quaaludes into a bowl of punch. She said they were always around when this stuff took place. And so, yeah, I agree. So we'll let them speak. But yes, I think you're right. Times have changed. I was at the University of Maine. Some horrible shit went on there. The year before I got there, I heard about it the year I got there, like in my dormitory. So I don't doubt this stuff goes on and stuff. But that's the University of Maine, and that's football players. That wasn't fucking Brett Kavanaugh, but who, you know, I don't know. But the standards, you're right. I mean, you know, I just sorry. I feel, you know, in a day and age, and I said this before, Robin, in a day and age where a guy can point to his penis and go, I identify as a girl tonight, and where a woman could point to a vagina and go, and all bets are fucking off. All bets are off. How about that?
Right. You have to say the timing is beyond questionable, and Feinstein did have that letter 3 months ago, so why is this all happening at the 11th hour and people are just popping out of the woodwork?
Well, that's a big one for me. The timing of all this is what is really a red flag, that this is mostly political. Mm-hmm. And I don't find it hard that you could surround. It wouldn't be tough to round up a few feminists, and these girls are definitely, you know, Blasi Ford at least is definitely an anti-Trump person. So it wouldn't be hard to round up 5 or 6 of them in the millions out there that hate Trump's guts. So I agree with you. The timing stinks. And,
yeah,
you know.
It sure does.
Yeah. Hey, Robin, good
It'll
call.
It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
All right. Anyhow. I mean, brushing up against somebody, and that's one thing. But then saying, oh, but they were in charge of spiking the drinks, and he was like the train conductor. Fellas, does that go on in Westchester Community College? Huh?
There are no parties at Westchester Community College. There's no dorms. It's a commuter school.
I know, it's a sarcastic remark, Ryan. I had to pick up on the comedy.
Back in when I was in college away, though, a frat at Binghamton did get shut down for pissing in the jungle juice.
Oh, my God. That's child's play. And this is true. I'm not kidding you. My fraternity, Sigma Nu, homecoming. I had a big day against UMass. It was the best day of my life. I go back to our frat. The place is packed with alumni. Dave Bockler, who was our nose guard, he was a wrestling champion from the state of Florida. I'm talking to some alumni who I don't even know. They're like in sports jackets. They're like 10 years older than me. He's behind them. There's a table with turkey on it, a turkey that nobody's even cut yet. And he's picking it up, and he's got his pants on. He's putting his penis in the turkey behind these guys. I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm not saying that Kavanaugh did anything that evil. Break me off a drumstick, bitch. This guy was fucking, loved him. Did I just mention his name? Okay, let's call him Phil Rizzuto. Holy cow, my dick's in the stuffing. This guy was an all-state wrestler. He had a knee operation. He just got his cast off. He couldn't even walk. He was still on crutches. One night, about 5 of us were in the living room, and we said, let's get this motherfucker. We were all drunk. We tried to attack him with a bad leg. He was throwing us around like we were rag dolls. And I mean, there was some big guys involved. He was throwing us around like we were rag dolls. Anyways. Who wants some stuffing? Anybody? Well, let's move off the rape stuff. This is making me horny. I didn't say that. That was a quote from, what's his name? The old bitter Bernie Sanders. West Virginia's decision to allow smartphone voting for midterms. Huh? That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
For the first time in our nation's history, voters in 24 counties in West Virginia, I didn't even know they had cell phones in West Virginia, I got to be honest, will be able to vote using their mobile phones. Well, Oh, you know what? I think it says mobile homes. I think there was a typo. No, it says mobile phones. Well, some are hailing the decision because it will make voting easy for members of the military deployed overseas. Experts are warning of possible security breach. Of course. Of fucking course.
Eddie, your phone is tapped.
Vote for Pedro Sanchez. Who do you think?
After researching previously available options, Secretary's team identified that most electronic ballot delivery technology required access to a desktop computer, printer, and scanner, all of which present significant barriers to overseas voters, especially those in combat zones. Really? They don't have a printer or a scanner in fucking Kabul? Or engaged in covert operations. The state is partnering with a Boston, Massachusetts-based company called Votes. This is how I know it's lefty shit. They spell the company Votes, Voatz. You know what I'm saying? No conservative fucking right-minded people are going to do that. You know, cars for fucking whatever with a K. Votes has developed a secure mobile voting application that allows voters to receive, vote, and return their ballots electronically. You want me to believe that? Yeah, okay. This is so wrong on 19 levels. First of all, the phones involve either Apple or fucking Google, who have already proved their bias against conservatives. So kiss my left fucking nut on that. Secondly, our government can't even prevent other countries from hacking into our government computers. But this will be all in the up and up. There'll be no, are you fucking dog styling me Votes with a Z? Fucking, as in zit pus? Come on. Oh, I see why it works. They're using a application. It utilizes blockchain technology, fellas. If you don't know what that is, a database that can be shared over across a network of computers. Blockchain. Isn't that... It's another word for gang rape. Isn't it a blockchain? I bet you Kavanaugh was involved in this. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Are you saying he knows nothing about these matters?
To my knowledge, nothing. I'm going to find out what the hell happened here.
The application uses blockchain technology to store electronically submitted ballots until election night and requires a heightened standard of identity verification. Like what? Somebody's ass print? For users than traditional absentee ballot process. But do you see what I'm saying? We already know, at least if you lean right in your politics like me, we already know that the big giant tech companies are the fucking enemy. They're anti-Republican, anti-conservative. We're proving that on 19 levels. Matter of fact, I have a story about Twitter again, proving that they're fucking horseshit. So I say this is a bad idea. The only way, and again, this is the Democrats, because the only way is to show up with an ID, and this is never going to change. Show up with an ID, maybe a state ID card too, proving where the fuck you're from, and then they should give you a receipt on how you voted. And you should take a picture with the asshole who's sitting at the desk, the old lady, proving you were there, and maybe exchange bodily fluids with her. Something that could really... But anything to make the voting system less secure is what the Democrats are for. You're asking black people to show a ID? They can't do that. What are they, allergic to cameras? The fuck are you talking about? You need a fucking photo ID to buy a six-pack, you cheese eaters. But yes, that's a good idea. Vote over your phone. What could happen? People from Snapchat will be voting 1,000 times and fucking log cabin, fucking whatever. Somebody grab a gay site quick. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be secure.
Eddie, your phone is tapped.
I don't like it. I'm all for making it easier. If you can do it like me laying on the couch or whatever. Again, proof though. I have to snap a picture, or the TV takes a picture of me on the couch, whatever. And that's pointed in a database of, you know what I mean?
People are going to send in dick pics, I swear to God.
And they'll get votes, depending on how big the cock is. We got this giant black cock in Georgia up by 22. No, I know. There'll be dick. Seriously, it's open for all kinds of fun, right, Ryan?
I'm taking computer security classes, Nick. This is so stupid.
It's a bad idea, right, Ryan?
This is so insecure.
This is Ryan saying this. His kid's glued to his phone. He has a one of those flip phones from the... He's got a BlackBerry, doesn't he? There it is. There's the first. I didn't know Colonel Sanders made the first cell phone call. I'll get a family-sized bucket with a side of mashed potatoes and some fucking gravy. You heard me, you fucking little... That looks like a guy from Get Smart. Is that a phone he's holding up or a sofa? Look at that thing. You could kill somebody with your cell phone back then. Look at that fuck. Next story. Bob's Burgers. Actor lands in hot water. I read this story today, right? I read this story and shit. And they mentioned the actor who does the voiceover and stuff. I didn't even realize it's the guy that I work with. He's a comic. He's a lefty, funny dude. I did a pilot with him. We were bicycle cops. Jon Benjamin. I haven't seen him for so long. I mean, he's aged about 100 years. So have I. But I'm just saying. I read the article, reading John, and didn't put two and two together. And we did a pilot, and it was actually on a website for best shows that never get picked up. I think it was. I don't know if it was a Comedy Central or it was an independent. But it was me and this black girl with bike cops and him and Sam Cedar, another real kind of lefty writer. They wrote the pilot. It was very funny, and we bullied them. We were bike cops. They were like nerdy cops. We bullied them and shit. And it was really fucking fun. I didn't put that together. Jon Benjamin, you know, he's done a lot of voiceover stuff on Comedy Center. Voice actor H. Jon Benjamin. Wait a minute. Is this the same guy? I think it is. Who's known for his roles on the animated TV shows Archer and Bob's Burgers, facing backlash for a recent tweet which was seen by followers as racist. Quick ID. This is your own followers calling you out. This is how pussy fucking Twitter and social media. Quick idea for the name of a tea shop. Oh, me so horny, me love you, oh, long time tea shop. He tweeted on Saturday, which he's so much funnier than that, but...
Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny.
That's from a movie, fellas. Again, I've given you a list. Full Metal Jacket. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Ryan, seen it? All right. His me so horny joke was a famous line from Stanley Kubrick's 87 film, Full Metal Jacket. Didn't land well. First of all, it's not funny. And this guy's really funny. Jon Benjamin's a funny dude. It's just something he thought of. That's what I hate about Twitter. And this has happened to me. You think of something off the top of your fucking head, you throw it out there. And then people come back, you're a professional comedian? That was fucking some deal. Yeah, I didn't put 1/110th of a second's thought into it, you cheese dicks. And then when you do put something out there, people will try to improve your joke. And you know, this is the thing me and Colin Quinn get nuts over. And then you go, yeah, I'm glad we could do the heavy lifting for you. We gave you the premise, now run with it for the next 6 hours. Fucking. But this guy's funny, and that was stupid. But again, is it really to the level where he has to apologize and he might lose his job and shit? You know, it was an Asian stereotype and whatever. But here's the typical response on Twitter. Really disappointing to hear this type of racist garbage from you, tweeted one user. I was a fan. Ooh, big fan, loyal fan. You were a fan and he made one mistake, which was even arguable, so you're not his fan anymore. Why don't you go fuck your mother's goat, you piece of fucking ass meat? I'm losing my tits here. Really? I was a fan. Ooh, so Jon Benjamin lost a follower out of the fucking 500,000 he has or whatever. How's he going to go on? Do you realize how insignificant you are? You fucking goo gobbler. Ooh, I was a fan. I'm morally superior. I'll put it out there on Twitter. Fuck yourself. Ow! The Asian joke. Here's all the joke. This is another tweet again. The lowest of the low-hanging fruits, wrote another user. Stick to burgers, Bob. Why don't you stick a burger in your ass? I'll drive a Lionel up in there. All the bitter, envious people who wanted to be comics didn't have the balls to. And boy, do they jump on you on Twitter. They didn't have the nerve to do what you do for a living, John. They'd rather work 100 hours a week at the mattress factory, making 11 cents an hour, fucking their fat, ugly wives up in Buffalo or whatever the fuck. But they're as funny as you when they're loading trucks at the UPS fucking garage. Just bitter. You can pick them out in the audience, by the way. When you do this long enough, there'll all be a guy sitting there with his head tilted, with his cunty look on his face, usually with those fucking, those horn-rimmed glasses, so you know how he voted. It's the face you see in every window at Starbucks, sitting there by himself on his lonely fucking computer, judging you. I love it. I love what I do for a living, and just because it bothers people. And then John makes the typical mistake. Sorry I offended many. I agree this joke was lazy and incompetent and formulated quickly while making a cup of oolong tea. The fact that it was a famous line in a movie does not give me license to make light of the big picture stereotyping of it. See, then he shows his liberal side. Okay, now you're taking in the ass, John. You should have said, you know what? Fucking, it wasn't the best work, but, quit judging me every time I breathe. Big stereotype of people, Vietnamese people, Asians, Americans in general. I'm sorry I ever made that cup of tea. Oh, he's blaming it on the tea now. You gotta go with Tetley's, then you can make a tit joke and get in trouble. And thanks for making me realize this in quick order. An Asian stereotype. Oh, Margaret Cho, who I like, by the way, and this might have Margaret Cho. I met her back in the early 90s, mid-90s. I like her. She's that Korean comedian. And I think she's funny as hell. But she's made a living doing Asian stereotypical shit. And you're going to say, yeah, but she's Asian. And I'm going to say to you, okay, let's follow that logic through. I have some Italian in me, which means I have some black blood in me, according to Keith Robinson and my two black friends. So they always point that out. So under that logic, I should be able to go hogwash crazy with the N-word jokes and say anything. But here's Margaret Cho. I fucking like her, and I'm just saying, but this is stereotypical.
Normally, something like this is so fun for me, but I didn't really want to go on the cruise. I had a lot of reasons to want to stay close to home.
Guys, this is not what I sent. Huh? No, it isn't.
That's it. This is the video.
It is not the video, and I'll prove you wrong later. Play it out anyways.
Normally, something like this is so fun for me, but I didn't really want to go on the cruise. I had a lot of reasons to want to stay close to home last year. My mother had a heart attack, and she's doing much better now. She's making a full recovery.
It's not what I fucking sent
really
you.
Feels great, but...
Whoa, white people. The Asian woman, mother's all right. Let me show how much I like minorities.
It was really scary when it was happening. And my mother's very new age. She astral projects. I like to leave my body. I started to do astral project in 1972. No, because I have a very special workshop with Leonard Nimoy.
Can you pause it for a second? The people in the audience are laughing at her doing a stereotypical Asian thing. Those people are very liberal that go to see Margaret Cho. So they're showing they're fucking laughing at something if I did. I understand she's Korean. I understand that, but I already explained the logic. Go ahead. She's actually
and
funny.
I like to leave my body, and I fly everywhere. I go everywhere, and then I hover over your house. They're so messy. How can you live that way? You have to clean out sometime. I cannot believe it. Just a little bit every day. Then all clean, you know. And mommy, I like to travel at altitude of 33,000 feet. You know, that's my comfortable cruising altitude.
All right, it's enough. It's enough. You get my point. I understand. So I guess that's okay, but, right? Is that how it fucking works? So I'm only allowed to do Italian joke. We're going to stay in our lanes. Do you see how unfun? And Quinn had Colin had the best line on Tough Crowd. He said, yeah, let's celebrate our diversity without pointing out our differences. which is, hits it right on the fucking head. And I like Margaret Cho, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to make a point here that Jon Benjamin has to apologize. He should apologize for the quality of joke, which he did, because he's way fucking funnier than that or whatever. But stop with your, I used to be a fan. Okay, now you're just a piece of shit. Go follow somebody else. Who wants a fan like you? Dat Van. Vietnamese comedian. Anyways, let's get on to Twitter. Once again, they're showing their true colors, the two-faced suckers of Satan's asshole. Twitter refuses to uphold harassment rules against Antifa. Twitter has refused to uphold its harassment rules against Antifa account, which encouraged harassment of Senator Ted Cruz after permanently blacklisting InfoWars host Alex Jones last month based on the same rules. The clip we showed yesterday, Ted Cruz getting chased out of the restaurant, Smash Racism DC, an account which openly supports Antifa and the abolition of ICE, uploaded we showed it yesterday, a video of left-wing activists harassing Cruz and his wife at a restaurant. Cruz has been friends with, it says with Creep Kavanaugh for 20 years. What did I pull this from? Oh, the Associated Press. Yeah, that explains it. Creep Kavanaugh. Can you imagine that this is reporting in this day and age? You're supposed to keep your personal bias out of it. It's not a fucking blog. It's from the AP. Creep Kavanaugh for 20 years. Now Cruz is on Judiciary Committee hearing his testimony. Fascists not welcome, the group captioned the video, receiving over 30,000 likes from fucking jerk-offs and losers everywhere, and 12,000 retweets. According to Twitter's rules, here's the important part. The social network prohibits behavior that crosses the line into abuse, including behavior that harasses, okay, check off the box, intimidate, check off the box, or uses fear to silence another user's voice. However, the video remains, despite the fact that InfoWars Alex Jones was banned from Twitter this month for a similar video in which he filmed himself berating CNN reporter Oliver Darcy. And here's that video.
Look at this right here. The guy that goes around policing and calling for censorship and then claims that Trump's wrong, there's no censorship of conservatives or patriots. You are incredibly shameful, man.
How are you doing, Alex?
You're just, look at you. Look, you are literally an anti-American, anti-free speech coward. You're going to go down the history books at the Criminal News Network. This is one of the main people right here who thinks you have no memory, who sits there and lobbies. Show him. That sits there and lobbies people to take other news off, claiming they're fake when CNN is the fakest WMD, Gulf Arab state dictatorship funded. Unbelievable. Hey, come on over here, Drew. I want to get this guy on tape. This is unbelievable. I was literally saying I don't see the Criminal News Network here, but indeed we do, right there at the front of the line of the trough, to try to get in there and try to shut down conservative libertarian speech. And of course he comes from the loins of Glenn Beck, the king. I mean, look at those eyes, folks. If you want to see the eyes of a rat, seriously, just I mean, look at the camera. Look at those eyes. Look at that slobbering to the system and the criminals at CNN, all their warmongering and death and all their fake news, and then running around trying to police the internet and try to shut people down. And then you think people are so stupid. On CNN a week later you say no one's censoring anybody, no one's pushing for censoring, and then you say that Trump is the one attacking the press when all he does is stand up to your lies. Just look at this guy's eyes, man. That is who will rule your life. Him and people like Stelter. That is who want to look at that smile.
Alex, I'd say, so I've known Oliver quite a long time.
All right, that's good. So they booted Alex Jones for that. But it's all right to chase Ted Cruz and his wife out of it. That's not harassment. They bragged about it after this. Today we permanently suspended @RealAlexJones Jones and @InfoWars from Twitter and Periscope. We took this action based on news reports of tweets and videos posted yesterday that violate our abusive behavior policy, in addition to the account's past violations. Just two-faced fucks, That's Twitter currently has hundreds of Antifa and openly pro-Antifa accounts on the social network, even though the group has been registered as a domestic terrorist group in the United States. Is Alex Jones registered as a domestic terrorist? Twitter also claimed last year they would, in quote unquote, take enforcement action against organizations that use/have historically used violence as a means to advance their cause, but have refused to take action against pro-Antifa accounts.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, not this fucking time. No fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, mate.
What two-faced hypocritical. You fucking lefties have no moral compass. You have no compass whatsoever. Yeah, there's Dorsey, the fucking founder of Twitter. Place those fingers with a dick. Seriously. At least he had the balls to admit that they leaned left. Dorsey did it, didn't it? I'm confused. Yeah, it was Dorsey. But there's evidence right there. Anyways, let's take one last call. Our buddy Luke in California. Luke, what's up?
What's going on, Nick?
Just a white man living in a black man's world, you know, Luke.
Yeah, you know. I feel you. Yeah, I wanted to bring it to your attention, which you already know this. It's your fault for all this, what's going down with Kavanaugh.
Okay, why is that?
Because white men for years have been encouraging these white bitches to falsely accuse black men of rape. And now they're starting to bite you on the ass, and now it's a problem.
Yeah, right.
So that's what you get.
Yeah, there you go. It's always our fault. And falsely accused of for every one black guy that's falsely accused of raping a white woman, I'd say there's about 40 that are rightly accused.
Hey, I'm from the late great Patrice O'Neal. Fully.
Luke, you gotta do your research on college campuses and you know, players at Alabama and Georgia and you know, ask how many white girls fucking even dare walk by them.
Yeah, you talking about Alabama and Georgia? I don't dare walk by there. I live in California.
I hear you, but it's not our fault. It's not. Yeah, we encouraged white bitches to accuse black men of falsely. Come on, will you? I want to see a Hollywood movie. Here's an original movie idea, Luke. How about a movie coming out of Hollywood from the liberals where a black man is rightly accused of rape? That would be an original thinking out of the box, or in the box, the white box.
Y'all did it. Well, I don't know. No, not rightly. I was gonna say, what's that damn the first movie ever made, which was racist as fuck.
Oh, Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation. There you go. No, that wasn't justified.
I get Birth of a Nation running on a loop.
I don't know, man.
All right, Luke.
Who wants to see that?
Who wants to see what?
A black man rightly accused of rape.
What do you mean?
It's not an interesting movie.
It's actually a good point. It happens so often. All right, Luke, you're my last caller of the day. I gotta go, and we get along swimmingly, so let's not ruin it. But call back tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
See you, Luke. I like it. Can we get more black call? Luke, spread the word, by the way. Notice it's the free shows he calls. But that's Whitey's fault, too. Because, again, the guy, look, he's got open his fridge, and there's a 40-ounce and a pound of government cheese. Oh, they eliminated that program years ago, I was told, by a young Mexican fella. Anyways, that's it, folks. I'm sweating like I have jaundice here. I don't know why. But thank you for tuning in to the show. And did I forget anything? Come out, go to nickdip.com and buy something. Check out my tour dates. Come out and spread the word, could you please? And yes, we added over 100 YouTube followers. And from Kyle from Rhode Island, I didn't really give a fuck about YouTube. I'm a stand-up comic, not a nerdy little faggot like yourself who fucking sits home and counts his YouTube followers. But when I got into this podcast, I was told it was a good way to grow the show. That's why. Meanwhile, I'll be doing comedy in the week and making more in one night than you'll make all year. That's because you're a fucking bitter little jerk-off from Rhode Island. But call back tomorrow if you're a subscriber, which I doubt you are.
Speaking of YouTube, real quick, we have a super chat. Burnt Toast paid $10 to say, "You've entertained me long enough." So I guess he's satisfied with the content.
Well, I don't know how to take that, Burnt Toast. First of all, you handle as Burnt Toast. Does that mean you're a black person? Seriously, I'm putting it together. And the way you don't like the way I talked to Luke, the brother who called in, or is...
I don't know, but he paid $10 to say that.
Well, Burnt Toast, goddammit, we got your name on the air. I like it, and I'm doing my detective work. I just got off the phone with a black guy named Luke. You're Burnt Toast. Maybe you're a white guy with a stupid handle, but I doubt it. And maybe you're like, you know what? I didn't care for the birth of a nation. The show should end now. Anyways, that is it, folks. Remember, you think it, I'll say it. You're welcome. Support live comedy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Some of yous.